Hello, this is Narain Auto Start Unit model APT17. So this is a complete protection system with auto start unit for any three-phase submersible starter. So let me brief you up about the features this particular product has to offer. It has an auto start unit which will turn on the motor as soon as the power supply resumes. So the auto start unit can be switched on or off using this switch. Apart from auto start unit, this will also offer a current sensing single phase preventer. So it, along with single phase preventer, it offers dry run protection, overload protection, unbalanced ampere protection. So, and it will also display three phase independent voltages in all the three lines. It will display currents drawn by the motor in all the three lines again. And it also has a dry run restart facility. Suppose a motor trips because of dry run, and if you want the motor to switch on automatically after waiting for a particular period of time, you can even set that time, and this particular option can be enabled or disabled based on your requirement. So dry run restart can be enabled or disabled. So okay, these are all the features of this particular unit APT17. So this can be used to any three-phase submersible starter. So this can be used from 1 HP to 30 HP. So the maximum current rating is 95 amps. So again, the maximum overload relay range can also be adjusted inside. So this is an all-to-all powerful, very comprehensive unit which can be used for any starter of three-phase. Okay, let's quickly look at the connections. So as you might see, we have connected this to LTLK DOL starter. So this is demonstrating APT17 connecting to LTLK DOL starter. So the connections are pretty simple. So as you might all be knowing, LTLK DOL starter has the incoming lines which are at the bottom. These are the incoming supply points R, Y and B. Okay, and the motor cables would be given to these 3 points. These are the motor cables. Okay, so what we need to do is this has to either come in between the supply and the starter, or the starter and the motor. So we've made use of this particular unit between the starter and the motor, towards the motor end. So supply to the LTLK starter will be given directly. Okay, supply will be given directly, RYB. Okay, so I'll just, the incoming supply is given directly to the starter. Then the motor cables which are going from these 3 points, they will just pass through 3 CTs. CTs are provided as holes. So passing the wires will allow the CTs to activate. So there are 3 holes. I mean, you will have to just pass the load carrying wires, the 3 wires, through these 3 holes. So these are nothing but the motor cables. So these are the 3 motor cables which are just passed through these holes. Okay, after passing through these holes, they are just going to the motor. Okay, this is the motor cable. Okay, and then these are the main load carrying wires, and then you will have to make use of auxiliary contacts now, which are provided on the right hand side. You can see a 7-way connector on the right hand side. Okay, so right from the top you will see R, Y and B. So R, Y and B are the supply indications. So you'll have to give all the 3 incoming supply. So that will be auxiliary power contact R, Y and B. Then we have C1 and C2. So C1 and C2, you can just have a look here. RYB is the incoming lines. C1 and C2, we also have mentioned it as auto start right beneath. So C1 and C2 is the auto start connection. So as we all know, L&T starter, the auto start wires should be connected in parallel to the on button. So this is the start button. So this is the start button, and these 2 are the start button connectors. So what you need to do is you'll have to take in 2 wires from C1 and C2. We have taken grey color wires, and those 2 wires should be placed to these connectors. So they will go parallel to these. So one wire will go to this point and the other wire will go to this point. It doesn't matter even if the wires get interchanged. So one should go here and one should go here. Okay. Then we have C3 and C4. Those are the last 2 connectors. So as you might see, the last 2 connectors are C3 and C4. So we'll have to take in 2 wires. We've taken 2 green color wires from that. So C3 and C4 should be connected in series with the holding contact. So you might have noticed that there will be a small wire which will be connected from this point to this point in the LTLK starter. So wire will sit like this in the LTLK starter. You will have to take out that wire, the small wire. You will have to take that out and connect the C3 and C4 to the same points where you had taken out the earlier wires. So C3 will go here and C4 will go here. Those are the same 2 points where the small wire was connected. So this is the holding contact point. So you'll have to remove this wire and connect one from C3 to this point and the connector C4 to this point. I'll summarize the connections again. So the 3 motor cables will be going through the CTs. All the 3 load carrying wires will go inside the CTs. Then the auxiliary supply RYB should be given to the first 3 connectors from the top, red, yellow, blue, and then C1 and C2 will be the auto start connections, which will go in parallel to the on button. So parallel to on button will be C1 will go here and C2 will go here, and C3 and C4 will be the preventer connections. So the current sensing preventer, so it has to be connected in series with the holding contact. So for that you will just remove the wire which was connected earlier, and at the same points you will connect wire from C3 to this point and C4 to this point. So these are pretty much about the connections. So once the connections are done, we'll just power up the system and have a look at how the display looks like. Okay. So as soon as you power up the system, this is how the display looks like. So you will have 2 displays. There will be 2 screens here. These 2 screens will be toggling one after the other. One will be the voltage screen, which will display the voltage in all the 3 lines, and the second one will be the current setting screen. The current setting screen will have the settings on top, and when the motor is running, it will just display the current in the second line. Okay, these will be the 2 lines. So whenever you want to make any changes, so once you try to make the changes, then the settings will get locked in that particular screen. Okay. So so once you power up the system, so the current drawn in all the 3 lines will be displayed on the second line. So we'll just do that. I'll be turning on the motor now. So powering on the motor manually. I'm just powering it on manually. You can see the motor switched on. The moment the motor switches on, you will see the green light glowing. This is the motor on indication. Okay. So once the motor switches on, you will see current drawn in all the 3 lines in the current screen. Okay. So this is R50506B5. This is the current drawn in all the 3 lines. 5, 6 and 5 are the current drawn, and L and H are the dry run and overload settings. And the incoming supply voltage will always be displayed in the voltage screen. So what you need to do is, once you power on the system, you will have to check the current drawn in all the 3 lines and set low or the low amps to at least 2 numbers below this current drawn, and high amps or the overload range to around 3 numbers above the current drawn by the motor. So if it is drawing around 5 ampere, then H should be set to around 8 and L will be set to around 3 or 4. So yeah, this is pretty much about it. So if you want to make the dry run setting, you will make use of this navy blue color knob. You will just place the tester on this and rotate it on the right hand side to increase the value. Similarly, if you want to change the value of high current, you will just place a knob on the green color knob and rotate it on the left hand side to decrease the number, and rotating on the right hand side will increase the number. So rotating on the left hand side, you can see the number decreasing here. Okay. So you can see those number decreasing or increasing based on whatever value you want to set. You can always set. So if you want to have a look at the moment the tripping takes place whenever the current drawn by the motor goes lesser than the set L value or the low current value, or the current drawn by the motor when it goes above the set over amps value, that is above the H value. That is when the motor trips because of overload. So, and since it has a current sensing preventer, whenever the current becomes 0 in any one of the lines, that is also when the motor trips because of single phase. We will quickly demonstrate all the 3 tripping characteristics now. So I am demonstrating dry run now. So the moment dry run occurs, see L is set to 10, but the current drawn by the motor is less. You will see this warning light blinking. It will blink for around 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, and it will turn off the motor. So once you turn off the motor, you will see the reason for turning off on the second line. Similarly, I'll be switching on the motor again. If you want to see the overload tripping, so I will just be demonstrating that as well. So the moment the current drawn by the motor goes above the set H value, you will see this warning light blinking and the motor trips because of overload. the tripping time will be 12 seconds. So you can quickly have a look. The motor just turned off, and the reason for turn off will be displayed on the second line, overload error. So this reason for trip will always be displayed till the time the power supply is there. The moment you disconnect the power supply, that is when the error also gets refreshed. Okay. Or if you want to refresh the error condition, you can always try switching on the motor manually. The moment current is detected in all the 3 lines, the error gets cleared. Okay. So this is pretty much about the tripping. We will quickly have a look at the single phase tripping also. So I'll just be removing one of the lines. I'll be disconnecting that. You can quickly have a look at the current here on the second line. So I'll disconnect it now. You can see the current becoming 0 and the motor switches off in 2 seconds time. The reason for turn off will be given on the second line again. So it says it usually reads out as single phasing, or even you can check that condition in the voltage conditions as well. You have disconnected the second line and the reason for trip will be single phase. Okay. So then coming to the auto start unit, whenever you want the auto start unit to function, you can always switch on this particular switch. So once the switch is on, the moment the 3-phase supply resumes, I'm disconnecting the power supply now. The moment the supply resumes, it will just check for the healthy condition of all the 3 lines. If all the 3 lines are fine, then the motor switches on after a set on delay time. So I've just powered it up. So since the auto start unit is on, so it will start down counting. Okay, so now the power supply was not right since I had taken out a line. So the line was given back now. So the moment the line gets back, you will see the starting delay. So starting delay was set to 10 seconds. You can also vary that time also, which we'll be demonstrating now. So after the starting delay time, the motor will automatically get started. The 3-phase supply is fine and the motor starts automatically. So this is because of the auto start functionality. So you can always have a provision to disconnect or switch off the auto start functionality if you don't require that option. Okay. So switching off the switch will turn off the auto start option. I'll be turning off the motor manually now. Okay. Right. So once this is done, we will quickly have a look at all the other settings also which this particular unit has to offer. So in order to enter the settings, we'll be turning off the power supply. So in order to enter the settings, as soon as you power up the system, you will see the company's name on the display. The moment you see Narayan Electrics company, you will have to change the position of the switch to the other point. Meaning, if it is in the on state, you will have to change it to off state. If it is in the off state, you will have to change it to the on state. Meaning, you are just changing the state of the switch in order to enter the setting menu. We will do that. Now the switch is in the on state now. The moment I power up the system and see the company's name here, Narayan Electrics company, you will immediately toggle the switch to the other position. Meaning I'll just turn off the switch. So I'll be doing that now. Powered up. The moment I see the name, I'll switch to the other direction. So this will enter the menu settings. So in this, the first option is on delay. So on delay is the power on delay in auto start mode. So power on delay is the moment the power resumes, if the 3-phase supply is fine, how long do you want the motor to wait before it starts? How long do you want the unit to wait before it starts the motor? That is this power on delay. It was set to 10 seconds earlier. You can increase the time. In order to increase the time, you can make use of both these knobs. So the left hand side knob is used to increase the on delay time. So you can increase it. So whatever number you want to increase, it will always be in seconds. So you can set to whatever settings you want to. So this is around 100 seconds. So you can 90 seconds. So that like that you can increase the time based on your application. So it was 10 seconds earlier. I'll just keep it to the same value. Okay, it was 10 seconds. Okay. Similarly, start to delta changeover time is the time at which you want the motor to switch from star configuration to delta configuration. So that can be adjusted on this as well. So that is how long the the on button or the start button will be holding. So that is the start to delta changeover time. So that can be changed based on using this knob on the right hand side. So it is at 8 seconds now, meaning as soon as the motor switches on because of auto start unit, the delta configuration, the star configuration will hold good till 8 seconds, and after which it will switch over to the delta configuration. So in order to change that settings, you can make use of this green color knob. Increasing this will increase the time. Again, all these will be in seconds. You can increase the start to delta change over time. So this will hold good only for the star delta starters. So for DOL you need not worry. So I've made it to 7. So once the value is set, in order to save the set value, you will have to toggle the switch again. So whatever value you have set, you will have to toggle the switch again. Again I'm toggling the switch, meaning I'm switching it back to the second position. Meaning if it is in off, you will switch it to on. If it is in on, you will switch it to off. So now it will enter the next set of settings. This is the overload limit. So this is the maximum relay range you want to set. So maximum relay range is set to 50 ampere, meaning in the current setting, the H value, the maximum, how long do you want the H value to go? That is the relay range. So this relay range is set to 50 right now. You can decrease the value or increase the value based on, you can make use of this blue color knob to, decrease the value or increase accordingly. So you can increase it up to 99 ampere, but based on the HP rating of the motor, you can set to whatever value you want to. You can even decrease it to 20 ampere if you want to. If you are using a small motor, you can switch, turn it down to the lower ampere as well. Okay. Once this setting is made, you will again, in order to save this setting, you will again toggle the switch. Toggling it will now enter the dry run tripping time option. So dry run restart time. So dry run restart time is a feature wherein when the motor switches off due to dry run, if you want it to automatically switch on after waiting for a certain period of time, you can set the time. So before setting the time, if you want to first say if you want that option or not. So if you want that option, you will have to set this dry run to enable. If you don't want that option, you are setting this dry run to disable. So how do you set to enable or disable? So for that, you will be making use of these two knobs. Okay, the green color knob will say enable or disable. Okay. Okay. So in order to set the time, in order to set the dry run restart time, you will be making use of this particular blue color button. So you can increase the time. The dry run restart is always enabled. If you want to set the time for restarting, it will always be in minutes. You can see the M value here. You can increase or decrease this number based on your requirement. So the maximum rotation will take it to 116 minutes. If you wanted to increase it further, what you can do is you can again, after the settings are saved, you can again bring it back to 0, and you can again rotate it when you come back to the setting again. Okay, this setting can be set to whatever value you want. So right now we'll be setting it to the minimum value. Okay, so that is about the dry run restart, enable or disable functionality. Okay, so once this is done, so in order to save the setting, you will again press the switch. So all the previously done settings are saved. So once this is done, you have set the power on delay, you have set the start to delta change over time, you have set the overload limit range, and then the dry run restart time interval. So all these settings can be set in the settings menu. So these are all one-time adjustments. So once all those things are done, you need not worry about anything. You will just have to focus on setting the low amps and high amps ratio. So I hope things are clear. So we'll just have a look at the dry run restart option once quickly. Just powering on the motor manually. So once the motor is powered on, we will just try tripping the motor because of dry run. So once the motor switches off due to dry run, so you can just have a look. Unlike the other error conditions, you will see the reason for trip, and along with that you will also see something called as TMR, and you will see 3 digits here. So this means the motor has turned off because of dry run, and there is a timer which is turned on, and the timer has begun counting, and the counter will up count. It will up count from 00 and to the whatever time you have set. So the counter after 1 minute time, the counter will start from it will get updated to 1. Similarly, the counter will start on the timer will start counting up till it reaches the dry run restart time. We have set the dry run restart time to 7 minutes. So after the dry run restart time, the motor will automatically switch on. So in order to switch it on after dry run restart, the switch should always be in the auto position. Okay, right. So the moment the switch is in auto position and motor switches on, switches off because of dry run, you can see the timer turning on, and after the set time, the motor automatically starts. So if the switch is in off position, the motor will not start again. So I hope everything is clear with the video. So if you have any queries, you can always reach us out. I know this has a lot of features and this might have some questions in your mind. If you have any further questions, you can always reach us on 9972243774. I repeat, it's 9972243774, and you can also browse our website for further information. Our website address is www.narayanelectrics.in. Thank you so much for watching this video.